This is Justin Case of American Newscape, joining our friend and mentor Joyce Rockwood. She's here to share the how-tos of finding solutions to constipation relief. Greetings, Joyce. Welcome back to American Newscape.
No, it's great to be back. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you and everybody out there, for that matter.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, today we're talking about something that's really important that most people are too embarrassed to talk about. Not us, but most people. Constipation. Constipation is not a pretty picture and can lead to various ailments and diseases if not properly addressed. Joyce, you say that when it comes to addressing many health issues, that constipation can prove to be the root cause. Let's talk about that. And in your experience, what are the three main causes of constipation?
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So I would actually say when it comes to addressing any health issue, now, I mean, separate from like someone being struck by lightning, which is an outside cause, I'm talking about ailments of the body. I truly do believe that constipation is at the root cause. And there's an incredible mentor of mine named Professor Arnold Ehret. He is deceased. I never got to know him because he was way before my time, but I consider him one of my mentors. And if you really want to dive deep into poop, then you can check out a couple of his books. His last name is spelled Ehret, Professor Arnold Ehret. And he has a book called The Mucusless Diet Healing System. He has another one called Rational Fasting. And he truly believes that any obstruction in the body is going to reduce vitality and reduce your power. So I also am under the same umbrella of belief systems that anything going on in the body, any ailments are literally the root cause is the body having an issue of constipation. We probably should define what constipation is because a lot of people out there probably think that they're not constipated. And I would actually be happy to shed some light on this topic because most people don't understand that your bowels should move once for every meal you eat, plus another 1 or 2 times a day. A lot of people out there right now are like passing out, rolling their eyes to the back of their head, thinking I'm crazy. But the truth is, if you look at an infant, go ahead.
Well, including the host. I mean, you certainly are on one side of the spectrum, and others of us are somewhere in between, and some people are suffering. So, back to it,
Yeah,
Joyce.
exactly. There's varying levels, right? So you should be having bowel movements that often during the day, and they should be 1 to 2 feet in length. 1 to 2 feet in length. Not kidding. And, if you're pooping pellets or if you're pooping golf balls, that's a problem. Infants take in mother's milk or, sometimes other types of milk, and they have, 4 to 6 to maybe 8 movements in a day. How often are you changing diapers if you have a newborn? Pretty often. 60% of the waste that you eliminate is just metabolic waste. It's not even matter that you've taken in as food source. All right, so let's just define that first. We have that as our groundwork. So when I say any health issue is really connected to constipation as the root cause, it's because if your body is not eliminating waste, then we've got, a backup in the system. We have an obstruction in the bowel. We have inflammation. We have preventing the inability for your body to really properly support itself during immune threats, right? And our neurotransmitters are not able to reach their desired location because there's congestion in the system, right? So, we've got 95% of our serotonin being produced in the gut. We have our microbiome. The majority of that is carpeting the gut. And if that's not performing properly, then that powerful community of yeast, bacteria, and fungi, the healthy stuff, the archaea, are not prompting the bowel either, right? Because your microbiome there's this peristaltic motion that gets triggered in the bowel, right? And so the microbiome and all of these little tiny microorganisms are prompting that. And so you have metabolic processes that are not being orchestrated properly. You have your immunity, as I mentioned. Your appetite is also being managed by your microbiome. So all of these things are now starting to contribute to an unhealthy bowel. So if you're backed up with waste, you're likely feeling lethargic. You've got mood swings, maybe you're irritable, gloomy. You probably might even be dealing with more serious issues like anxiety and depression, brain fog, and you might even be getting sick, all that more often than necessary.
Now,
And maybe
to,
you just
to
don't feel like
clarify,
doing
to
it.
clarify, When I think of waste, is that's where that's how I'm shedding most of my toxins, correct? And if I'm not pooping, the toxins are building up in my body. So I think it's
Absolutely. One,
I mean, to simplify, the threat of constipation is the accumulation and the building and storing of toxins, which is having a dramatic effect on our entire systems, right?
you can, you're now that you've got it. You can
So,
take over my role.
well, no, 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 no.
That's
So,
exactly what it is.
so when
Exactly what it
people
is.
look at me and say you're irritable, I could just say, no, I just need to poop.
Yeah, I know I'm full of poop, full of shit. And
Well, they tell
that's
me I
actually
am, but I don't think that's their. It's
they're
not
using
that.
it euphemistically, and you're like, no,
Yes.
physically, I really am full of it because I haven't gone to the bathroom. And, sleep, right? Sleep is also a major issue. When people think of constipation, a lot of times they just think like, oh, I didn't go today. But again, if we're looking at how frequently the bowels should move, if you tell me that you are regular and then I ask you how many times a day you have a bowel movement and you say, oh, every day, and I say, you mean once? And you say yes, I say, you're constipated. Because even if you're eating one meal a day, you should be having at least maybe two or three movements.
You
That's the
know,
truth.
no, we've been
Yeah.
talking about this, and Joyce has really been actually helping me. And what she did for me is, in my lifestyle, I always felt too busy. I just don't have
Mm-hmm.
the time to take out of it. So I would confuse myself that I didn't need to go to the bathroom, or I would put it off and put it off, and what would be an hour, put it off an hour would become 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. And after talking to her and having her work with me, it's all of a sudden she gave me the permission. She said, Justin, you can go to the bathroom.
Yeah. We call it
So,
a P to P, permission to poop.
yeah, well, it just, it worked wonders for me. So any
Yeah.
urge to do that now, I go do that. And I
Yeah.
recognize the importance of it. And it's almost like, Joyce Rockwood is the empowerer of the poopers out there, and she's encouraging us all to go to the bathroom. She's giving us all permission to go to the bathroom, and now she's telling us why it's important.
Exactly. I mean, they call me the rinse princess for a specific reason, right? Cleansing and washing away the impurities that the body does not need or want in a more meticulous and thorough and efficient fashion is really where it's at. So I'm glad that you feel that you have the ability now, the time to take for yourself and let that go. Because I mean, you're probably feeling, I guess, like you can answer into this. Maybe you feel a little bit more focused, you have more concentration, you're not as moody. What are people saying?
Well, that would be subjective, but I could imagine there's a lot of mothers with young children that are in the same boat as I am. So that transcends lots of age groups, lots of people. So no, it's been important for me. It's been enlightening.
Yeah,
I don't go to the bathroom 10 times a day because I don't
that's
feel
excessive.
that. Yeah. Well, I don't know, according to you. But all right, back to it.
I'm going to go to the three main causes right now. Let's get um, to the real root of this issue, right? So the lack of proper nourishment, I would say, is the first one because most people are just not eating what we would consider in my world, the
Right.
cohorts that I work with, human food. Most people are eating a lot of highly processed foods that have cute names and cute packaging and little characters to go along with them that are part of the marketing tools. And proper nourishment is really the foundation of our well being, whether that's proper sleep, right, managing stress and getting enough rest. Exercise, those are some of the foundational pieces, but definitely nourishing the body with the minerals and the enzymes, the building blocks that we need to support our metabolic responses, to support the bowel moving efficiently. Because if we're eating food that is very inflammatory, highly mucus forming, obstructive in the body, that doesn't leave the body easily, it is going to accumulate. It's going to be very challenging for the bowel to move. It's like putting in, cement blocks into the system. So proper nourishment is, I would say, the first main cause. Okay, so the second one would be in my experience, a poor understanding of food order and combinations. I just spoke with a woman a couple of days ago, responded to one of my emails about having really poor sleep. And she said, I felt like the email was written just for me. And I was like, well, how are you doing with your nourishment? We started talking about that. She says, well, I'm plant-based, but I honestly don't think I eat healthy, because you can eat, plant-based and not eat healthy food. And I said, that's true. So when she started to kind of outline her day for me, it was a lot of like crackers and vegan cheeses and things of that nature. And the combinations of the foods we eat is very important. And then she was eating fruit right after that. So really understanding that the order of the foods that we eat and the combinations of them is going to make a huge, huge impact on our digestion and our ability to have regular and normal, healthy bowel movements. That would be the second one. And then the third main cause, I would say, and look, I could make a list of 10 things, but for the sake of brevity today, genetic predisposition. You started to talk about that a moment ago with, your own issues with constipation and now going to the bathroom more often. And, if adults out there are having families, they're passing on the human genome to the child, right? So when the baby is born, the vaginal canal, the microbiome drops down into the vaginal canal to coat the fetus. And it's the very first time the fetus gets exposed to that microbiome. A lot of people, unfortunately, have C-sections. They never get that transference. And so right off the bat, sometimes those babies are born with compromised immune systems, digestive systems, and, metabolism. So the good news is all of these things are capable of being reversed, and a plant-based diet is really one of the best places to start. So if you have a genetic predisposition, it doesn't mean that you have to give up. It's like, oh, my mom and dad had these issues, so I have no chance. That is not the truth. I come from a family and a lineage of depression, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, you name it. I have none of those issues because at an early age, I learned what it meant to truly nourish, detoxify, and rejuvenate my body naturally from the inside out so that I could feel like and look like I was aging in reverse. And so you have the power to change these things. If you are having issues with constipation, I can help you. And it would be my honor to guide you on that journey. Can I give a bonus main cause of constipation?
What, interacting with me or?
This is not an ad, by the way. But one of the main causes of constipation is that people are pooping with their feet on the ground. If you have your feet on the ground, you're pooping all wrong. All you need to do to elevate your ability to have better movements is get one of these things. It's a squatty potty. If you don't have one, it goes right in front of your toilet, by the way. See how it's got that little curvature? So this goes in front of the toilet. It actually goes this way. And then you put your feet up on it. It sits on the floor like this. When you lift your feet off the ground, off the floor, what's happening is you are curving, you're opening up the puborectalis muscle. Everyone on the count of three say puborectalis. Puborectalis.
Puborectalis, yeah, okay.
Right? It's a hinge. It's the bottom portion of the colon. And when your feet are on the ground, it's hinged. It's kind of closed. When your feet come off the ground, it opens up. Okay? So it tips that pelvic region up and it opens up that hinge. And I got to tell you, years ago, I had someone call my office when I was still performing clinically at a wellness center there, and she was having serious constipation issues. She was out of state, and I just said to her, the best thing you can do right now is get your feet off the ground. She never came in to see me for treatment. She actually said that she started having bowel movements every day just because she lifted her feet up. So get your feet up off the ground. I feel like I should hire someone who's a really great lyricist and make a song out of that and make a music video.
I'll handle that. I can do.
Get your feet off on the ground. There was a guy years ago who did that pants on the ground song. You should get your feet off on the ground.
I can handle
Maybe
this.
a smash hit.
Well, it won't be a smash hit, but I can certainly write you a parody.
I'll take it.
Okay. You'll have it.
So yeah, so those are the three main causes. I would say.
Yeah, dehydration can be another big factor.
Yeah.
I think, a lot of people, one thing we learned early when I was, back when they were slaughtering the last dinosaurs in North America from a doctor was the importance of regulating fluid during a meal. When I grew up, we sat with a large glass of water. We were encouraged to drink water while we ate. And then lo and behold, we learned later that was depleting the acids that help, the digestion properly.
Yes, exactly. So you, just for anyone listening, you do have the most perfect balance, ideally, of digestive enzymes that start to break down your food in your mouth, right? Proteins actually start to break down in the stomach, but if you're drinking water even during a meal, you're diluting that process. You're also creating a lot of sluggish response for digestion in the stomach, and it will make you feel really bloated. So if you have that big salad, coming back to the big salad, folks, if you have that big salad before you eat anything that's cooked, there's a lot of water containing, there's a lot of water in the, those vegetables are highly water containing, right? So romaine lettuce, red peppers, cucumber, celery, and you'll get hydrated that way. Okay. And then you won't feel the need to drink excessively during the meal. Most of the time, the reason why people feel the need to drink during a meal is because they're eating highly processed foods with a lot of salts and a lot of preservatives in them that make them feel very thirsty because they're not hydrating naturally. So before the meal, you drink the water. After the meal, try to wait an hour and then you can drink again. Really take notice of that. If you have that big salad beforehand, it will definitely make a big difference and you will not feel bloated and gassy. And that also contributes to constipation. If you're creating all that, distension in your body, it's going to make it hard for the bowel to be efficient.
Yeah, and back pain and everything else, sciatic nerve issues, and this is a big issue. But okay,
Yeah, if
now,
you're not pooping, you're dying.
yeah.
If you're not pooping, you're dying. I'm sorry, you are.
So, but remember, if people tell you you're full of it, it may be for various reasons. Okay. Hey, Joyce, for anyone who wants to have a firsthand experience and learn more about essential oils or a particular health issue like constipation relief, what's the best way to get in touch with you? Okay, yeah, there you go.
The best way would be to send me an email at detox@joycerockwood.com. Detox, DETOX at joycerockwood.com. And if you are on the socials, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm there pretty commonly and daily, Joyce_Rockwood CCH. If you go to my website, all my social handles are there, joycerockwood.com. But if you want to send me a personal note, if you have something going on right now, something serious or chronic, you might not feel like it's life threatening. But the truth is, anything going on with your health right now, if you don't take care of it, the longer you wait, the more serious it becomes, the more challenging it becomes to dig yourself out of the hole, the more costly it becomes. So no matter what it may be, maybe now is that time to stop putting it off and put yourself at the front of the line. Reach out to me, send me a quick email, and we can set up a 30-minute no-cost call. We can have a chat and see what's going on, see if we can break it down into some simple steps that can lead to some healthier results for you.
Yeah, and if you think about that, these issues are layered and can be complicated. So asking and seeking help sometimes can be a very positive, powerful move that you can make for yourself. It's just, I sit and I wonder, do I feel guilty about drinking wine with dinner, things like that. Get some help. If it's not Joyce, look for somebody that actually knows what they're talking about and get you going in the right direction. If it's get your feet up off the ground, get your feet up off the ground.
Get your hand on the phone and make a call. Here's the thing, sometimes if someone reaches out to me and I don't feel like I'm an ideal fit, I know incredible other colleagues that might be. So, let's just get the ball in motion, start somewhere, as they say, start somewhere. And I truly believe that detoxification is actually easy. It's having the right person to support you and breaking it down into easy, actionable steps so that you're not going into overwhelm. Most people think they have to do everything at once. They have to clear out all of the foods they love so much, but they know they shouldn't be eating. Really, you have to take it slowly. It's like anything else in life. Transition.
Yeah, exactly. And to find your path, find your comfort level, and ease into it. If any of us had half the passion that you do about this, Joyce, it would be easy for us. So get a coach
Well,
that's
hopefully
got
you
some
start.
passion.
Yeah, hopefully you start to feel more passionate because the second you get some simple results quickly, you're like, oh, okay, this I get this now. I'll just share a really quick, simple story. In my last essential oils group study, a woman started adding the lemon essential oil to her drinking water, and she not only got rid of a chronic yeast infection she was dealing with in 2 days, but she also started having movements daily. So, I mean, literally, if you can tap a little drop of essential oil in your drinking water and get a quick response like that, I can't promise results that are the same for everyone. But the truth is, if you show up ready, willing, and able for change, chances are your body's going to align with that. So, why put it off?
Well, and you'll help people find that path, and we all have individual
Yeah,
paths. Okay.
exactly.
All right, Joyce. Thank you. This has been awakening once again, or awakening, whatever we want to call it. This has been Justin Case and Joyce Rockwood getting after why you should consider joining the essential oils movement. Thanks for joining us. Remember,
Movement.
movement. Exactly. Moving with
Real
essential
quickly,
oils. Go ahead.
quickly, I mentioned the last essential oil study. We're doing another one in January. So if you are listening to this and you are having issues with constipation, sleep, pain, or stress, you can fill out the application right below this video. I'd love to support you in working with oils for 7 days and showing you how easy, simple, and natural and effective they can be for you in integrating into your life. So fill out the application and we'll connect. Thanks,
Wow.
Justin.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for joining us. Remember, free gifts, additional information, and links are provided in the videos. Read more. All of Joyce's links are there: Instagram, Facebook, whatever you need. Her website, her email, it's all there. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected, and please connect with Joyce in the links below. You can learn some healthy revelations of how not to go bananas.